Let's talk a little tennis right now. U.S. Open back in New York City. The main draw begins August 24th with the first match at Arthur Ashe Stadium, scheduled to start at noon. Here to break down the top matches are Zach Pereles. He's a senior writer at CBS Sports. Zach, good to have you with us. How are you?
I'm really good. Tennis is in the air. So
yes, it is. Yeah, it's always such a great time. I think before we even get into the whole tennis thing, speaking of in the air, the fact that we're not going to have to deal with oppressive humidity for the first week of the U.S. Open is going to be an incredible change over the last few years. Always hot there. So let's talk about Jannik Sinner, the reigning champ and the odds-on favorite. He's already won 2 Grand Slams this year. Is he your odds-on favorite? Does he have what it takes to make it 3 Grand Slams so far?
He certainly is my favorite. A big thing for him, the storyline to watch is that he left the Cincy Open final against Carlos Alcaraz with an illness. It was really, really hot. So like you mentioned, he really likes the weather conditions that are projected going forward. But this is a guy who's won 26 straight hard court matches before that loss to Alcaraz, where really just his own body let him down. And you look at the historic company that he could keep with a win here. Only 3 men have won 3 slams and made a final in the other in a single year. We're looking at Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rod Laver. So he is playing some tremendous tennis. I've been really impressed with how he has improved his physical stamina. That used to be kind of an issue for him. When matches would go long, he would struggle. That is no longer the case. He has really, really improved there and just become a more powerful physical athlete as well. So he is my favorite going in here. But that illness that he left the Cincinnati Open with, that looms a little bit large. He did withdraw from the mixed doubles event, so we'll see how he's feeling here early.
Well, you know, you get Sinner, Alcaraz, these guys, it feels like they're in every Grand Slam final. Is there anybody out there that you see that could emerge, that could potentially unseat one of those two for a different kind of matchup this year, for this year's Open?
Yeah, absolutely. Alexander Zverev is the one that everybody feels like has to break through at some point. Has good career records against both Sinner and Alcaraz. He's actually the last guy to beat Sinner at the U.S. Open, going back to 2023, of course. Really, really talented player. Made the Australian Open final this year where he lost to Sinner, but incredible talent, really physical, good player. He just has some mental roadblocks that he struggles to break through sometimes. But I think that he's your best bet there to shake things up a little bit and prevent what seems to be a collision course.
Let me ask you this, some of the early matches that you've got your eye on that people should watch out for.
Yeah, I think Lerner Tien is a 19-year-old American who is a ton of fun to watch. Very smart player, very fundamentally sound player, loves to rip his 2-hand backhand, and he gets Novak Djokovic here in the first round. So that's the one that catches my eye. Obviously, Novak Djokovic, one of the all-time greats, if not the all-time greatest. A lot of fun to watch. He will play to the crowd. But Lerner Tien, 19 years old, he has some big wins this year, kind of announced himself at the Australian Open, beating Daniil Medvedev. So really fun. I think that he'll get the crowd on his side, and I'm not saying he'll win, but when you look at that draw, he can be a lot of fun. Then on the women's side, lots to talk about Coco Gauff, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah, so let me ask you that. No woman has repeated at the Open since Serena back in 2012 to 14 when she had 3 straight. I mean, who on the women's draw, who do you really like?
Sure. So Arina Sabalenka is looking to do the double here and finally end that streak of no repeats. I certainly think that she can. Iga Swiatek is coming off a dominant Wimbledon, and she maybe has a little bit of an easier draw. I think that it is Swiatek as the favorite there. Coco Gauff, though, that's such an interesting case. She has raised her game in New York, and she gets that crowd on her side. But she's kind of going through it a little bit right now. She's parted ways with her coach. She's really working hard on her serve, which has kind of let her down recently. So it's one of these ones that it almost feels like it could go either way. She could make all these changes, and they could work right away, and she could just rediscover herself, or it could be she's still going through some transitions that are going to take a little bit of time.
All right, Zach, thank you. We've taken enough of your time this morning. Enjoy the Open, and we really appreciate the insight.
Thanks for having me.
All right, great to see you, and enjoy the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a great fortnight in Flushing, that's for sure. We'll learn more about the upcoming matches and the U.S. Open Fan Week, which just concluded. You can head over to CBSNewYork.com.